Hey, Simply Sugar here. I want to talk about what happened in New York City. I didn't include this story in my evening news update because I was making a separate video about it. So Brad Landers, arrest and detainment by ICE. So New York City Comptroller and Mayoral candidate Brad Lander, a United States citizen, was arrested by masked ICE agents with FBI being present. The fact that these people are masked is very disturbing. We need to be able to identify them. We need to know their name, their badge numbers, what they look like. Because if they do something wrong, how are we going to hold them accountable if they're anonymous? So this happened at 26 Federal Plaza in Manhattan. Lander was escorting a man named Eduardo out of immigration court where the individual's case had been dismissed. When Landers physically locked arms with him and demanded a judicial warrant before the agents could proceed, because that's how the law works. That gentleman Eduardo, is entitled to due process and proper detainment, with the right paperwork. There was a scuffle. Landers was taken into custody. DHS claimed that he assaulted a federal officer and impeded an official proceeding. Now, mind you, all of this is caught on camera. If you look at the force in which they tried to take Lander, people, again, are going to try to defend themselves, and they have no legal right to detain the Comptroller of New York, a U.S. citizen, known to them. This is clearly an intimidation tactic they're using. I mean, we saw it happen with Alex Padilla in California when he tried to ask Kristi Noem a question and he was handled by her security and he was detained. I like when people argue in my comments about detainment versus arrest. They shouldn't be detained at all. Again, these are U.S. officials. This is reminiscent of other countries. I hate to say it, like Russia and China. Alex Navalny comes to mind, and we know what happened to him. He was, assassinated. He was first poisoned, then he was jailed, and then he died unexpectedly when he was maybe getting set to be released. The timing of all this, his death seemed very suspicious. But this is where we're headed to. This is what's happening right here in this country. This needs to come to an end. It's time that our elected officials, again in Congress, and that goes to Republicans too. Because what happens when we change sides? Can we arrest you? Then you'll be up in arms. I understand that this is a two-way street. This president is 78, 79 years old. He's not going to live forever. There will be another election here. What's going to happen if the Democrats take all and start giving you your own medicine? I'm not going to want to hear it at that point. Like, it's time to stand up for the Constitution. We are on the brink of war here in the United States, on our ground, against tyranny. And not only that, we're going to be thrown into a war in the Middle East. Things are hectic, for lack of a better term. And our officials better get on board with controlling this president, because this president is out of control. Let me know your thoughts on all of this. I'm Simply Sugar.